Wendy Sherman is an MSNBC contributor. She was at an event called the Aspen Ideas Festival in Colorado, which I know nothing about, but on name alone it sounds immensely douchey. And she floated a new idea as to why Hillary lost to Trump.
I hesitate to say, but I think it's critical, looking out at our audience and looking out at most of us, that there is no doubt that we just had 8 years of an African-American president is not a factor in all that we are experiencing today. When we make social change, when we make a decision to do something we have never done before, we then take 2 steps backwards, at least. I believe in my bones among the list, I agree with the list that Sam put out about why Hillary lost, but I would add to that that it was pretty hard to elect a woman after you've elected the first African-American president.
She's saying that Hillary Clinton lost because Obama was black. See, this is identity politics run amok. This is the bastardization of identity politics. Yeah, you know, we had a black man as president for all those years, and then it's going to be hard to go from minority to minority, and yeah, that's real difficult, and people weren't ready for that. Why can't it just be people weren't ready for that female president? Her, as an individual. Because that's what it really is. It's not like people were saying, should we go from African-American man to woman? That's not, that's not a big calculation on a large number of Americans' minds. It's just not. It's just not. In fact, there were, I forget the exact number, but I do know it was incredibly high. There were millions of voters who went for Obama, and then they flipped and went for Trump. So, weird, their apparent racism didn't stop them from pulling the lever for the black man. They just didn't want to pull the lever for the female, because again, maybe they're not just voting based off of race and gender, maybe there are other concerns and other things that go into their mind. And it's things like this that make, those Midwestern Rust Belt voters roll their eyes and just go, you're not, this is what you're talking about after you got your ass handed to you in an election? You're trying to read the tea leaves and the chicken entrails and going, oh yeah, what was it? Maybe it was the fact she's a woman. Oh yes, the fact she has a vagina, that's the thing. Why? That's so arbitrary. What? Oh, what was it? Oh, it was the fact that she has the brown colored eyes. Oh my god, she had brown color. By the way, I don't know what color eyes Hillary Clinton has. She has blue eyes. Oh my god, she had blue eyes. They weren't ready to vote for somebody with blue eyes. They weren't. No. Okay, Trump was so incredibly beatable. If you ran Elizabeth Warren against Trump in the last election, she would have won. I have no doubt about that. Even though as many times she pissed off progressives in a variety of different ways since, so yada yada. She would have won. She would have beat Trump. She would have, I think, destroyed Trump. So, this idea of, well, it's just, let's only talk about it through the realm of what the race is, what the gender is, that's just not accurate. And it's just excuse making. It's really hard for just your standard partisan loyalist hack Democrat to do self-criticism, to look in the mirror and go, hey, how do we lose this? This should have been an easy election win. So what do? They obfuscate, they deflect, they rationalize, and it's all to avoid looking in the mirror to say, we got to ask ourselves some real questions here. What do we stand for? I mean, under Obama, he ran as an anti-war president. Now we're doing 7 interventions. We were doing 7 interventions under him. Drone strikes killed 90% the wrong people. You know, he's a guy who promised, oh yeah, NAFTA's bad, and he did trade deals while he was there. He signed trade deals. He did nothing on money in politics. Nothing. The guy who's going to fundamentally change the system and give people hope did nothing on money in politics. You know, sure he did some things, some good things, of course. But there were a lot of things he did where it was just business as usual and politics as usual. And it wasn't fucking inspiring. So you have Obama pushing for half measures all day long. De-incrementalism wasn't enough for people. And then you have Hillary come along and say, yeah, ditto. Status quo, business as usual, vote for me. There wasn't a bold, populist left platform. She wasn't saying Medicare for all, let's do it now. Let's eliminate student loan debt. Let's get free college. Let's, make the minimum wage a living wage and tie it to inflation. Let's end the wars. Let's end the drug war. It was all just standard, corporatist, centrist, fucking, hey, half measures all day long, don't you want to vote for me? And let's talk about how shitty the other guy is. It wasn't enough. So, when your analysis boils down to, it's because she's a woman and it's because he was black. Too much change for people. That's so convenient because it allows you to say, well, look, we don't really need to change anything substantively. It's those damn sexists and racists that need to fucking grow up and shut up and vote for the right people. So it absolves you of any wrongdoing. It absolves you of all of it. Then you get to go, it's not us, it's them. And then I got some bad news for people like this. You're not gonna shame people into voting for you. That's not a thing that happens where people go, oh, I've been sufficiently shamed, let me go do it. They're never gonna learn, man. They're never gonna learn. Talk about the issues. Talk about the issues. The Democrats could have a permanent majority if they just ran on the things that matter. There are so many single issues where if the Democrats said, you know what, let's go all in on that one, they would win. Single issues. You pick the fucking topic. Corporate tax dodging. You go, well, I don't know, Kyle, that sounds pretty obscure. So fucking explain it to people. Did you know, because mega-rich multinational corporations dodge their taxes, the government is cheated of $450 billion of revenue every year, and they shift that burden onto you, the middle class. You have your taxes raised because corporations buy politicians and then dodge paying their fair share. We're going to put an end to that, and we're going to put an end to that on day one. We're going to fight for this fiercely. On that alone, boom, you win an election. Hey, did you know that if you work full-time, you don't make enough money to survive in America? You could work full-time and still live in poverty. That makes no goddamn sense at all. If you work full-time, you're doing your part for society. Shouldn't society do their part for you? Shouldn't you make a living wage? That's what we're going to fight for. That's what we're going to implement. Vote for us if you want that. That's what we're going to do. Hey, did you know we have a mass incarceration epidemic in this country? We jail more people than anybody else in the world, even China, and they have a population that's way larger than ours. Why? Because we're locking up non-violent people for drug offenses. That's no different than taking your uncle who likes to drink gin and throwing him in jail. Should he be locked up in a cage and lose his freedom because he likes to tweak his consciousness slightly? How about we legalize marijuana and free all the non-violent drug offenders? These are issues you can win on! Oh my god, it'd be so fucking easy to win if you just pushed for things that matter to people. That's it. 60% already want Medicare for all. And only like 2 or 3 prominent Democrats are going to push for it, where all the others do these mealy-mouthed defenses of Obamacare and just say Trump care is bad. It's like you're trying not to win. The Democrats could win and have a permanent majority if they ran on the right things. But as long as they keep deflecting and obfuscating and taking no responsibility and not looking inward, they're never going to do it.